Did you know that Wales has more castles per square mile than any other country in Europe? It's a land steeped in myth, legend, and a fiercely independent history that stretches back thousands of years. This story isn't just about towering stone fortresses, it's about the people who built them and the ancient culture they defended. To really understand Wales, we have to journey back in time, long before the Romans or the Normans ever set foot on this rugged, beautiful land. We're heading into a world of hill forts, druids, and powerful Celtic tribes who called this mountainous corner of Britain their home, a place they knew as Cymru. The story of the Welsh people begins with the Celts. These weren't a single unified nation, but a collection of distinct tribes, each with its own customs and territory. Groups like the Silures in the south and the Dechangli in the northeast were formidable warriors and skilled farmers. They lived in roundhouses often clustered together within the protective banks of enormous earthen hill forts. The arrival of the Roman legions in the middle of the 1st century AD marked a dramatic turning point in Welsh history. The Romans saw Britain as a prize, a new province for their ever-expanding empire. While they conquered what would become England with relative ease, Wales proved to be a much tougher challenge. The mountainous terrain was perfect for guerrilla warfare, and the Celtic tribes, particularly the Silures and the Ordovices, were not going to give up their homeland without a fight. For decades, they waged a fierce and bloody resistance against the most powerful army in the world. A pivotal moment was the assault on the Druid stronghold of Anglesey, or Mona, as the Romans called it. The historian Tacitus describes a terrifying scene of Druids cursing the invaders and black-robed women shrieking like furies. The Romans destroyed this sacred center, a massive blow to the heart of Celtic resistance and spirituality, breaking the power of the Druids forever. Once the conquest was complete, Roman influence began to seep into Welsh life. They built impressive forts like Caerleon in South Wales, which housed an entire legion and boasted its own amphitheatre and bathhouses. They also constructed roads to move troops and goods and mined for Welsh gold and lead. Many Welsh people became Romanized, adopting Roman customs, language, and ways of life. When the Roman Empire began to crumble in the late 4th and early 5th centuries, the legions were withdrawn from Britain to defend other parts of the empire. With the Romans gone, Wales entered a period known as the Age of Saints. It was an era defined by the rise of powerful, independent Welsh kingdoms. Territories like Gwynedd in the north, Powys in the east, and Deheubarth in the south became the dominant forces in the land. Each was ruled by its own king or prince, who often traced their lineage back to heroic figures. This was a time of internal conflict, as these rulers frequently battled each other for supremacy. One of the most legendary figures from this early period was Rhodri the Great, who ruled in the 9th century. He was the first leader to unite the majority of Wales under a single banner, a remarkable achievement that earned him his title. He fought off Viking raids and held the line against the Anglo-Saxons, becoming a symbol of Welsh unity and resistance. Although his unified kingdom fractured after his death, the ideal he created, the idea of a single independent Wales, would inspire generations of future leaders. The struggle for independence reached its zenith under the leadership of princes like Llywelyn the Great and his grandson, Llywelyn ap Gruffydd. In the 13th century, Llywelyn the Great used a masterful blend of diplomacy and military might to dominate Wales, forcing other Welsh rulers to acknowledge him as their overlord. His grandson, Llywelyn ap Gruffydd, went even further, securing the title Prince of Wales by treaty with the English crown in 1267. This was the high water mark of Welsh independence, a moment when a unified sovereign Wales seemed not just possible, but real. This dream, however, was not to last. King Edward I of England was a ruthless and determined military commander who would not tolerate a rival power on his border. Llywelyn ap Gruffydd was eventually killed in a skirmish in 1282, a devastating blow to the Welsh cause. Edward was determined to cement his control, so he embarked on a massive castle-building program, putting up a ring of stone fortresses like Caernarfon, Conwy, and Harlech. These weren't just defensive structures, they were powerful symbols of English domination, designed to intimidate and control the Welsh population. Centuries later, the Acts of Union between 1536 and 1543 formally annexed Wales to England. This legislation aimed to create a single state under one legal and administrative system. The Welsh language was banned from official use, and the Welsh gentry were encouraged to assimilate into English culture. However, the Welsh language survived in the homes, chapels, and communities of ordinary people. The publication of the first Welsh translation of the Bible in 1588 was a crucial moment, helping to standardize the language and ensure its survival for centuries to come. The next great transformation came with the Industrial Revolution. Suddenly, the landscape of South Wales, rich in coal and iron ore, became the engine room of the British Empire. Valleys that had been quiet and rural for centuries were rapidly industrialized. Towns like Merthyr Tydfil and Swansea became global centres for iron and copper production. People flocked from rural Wales and beyond to work in the mines and foundries. This period brought immense wealth to a few, but for the majority it meant hard, dangerous work and often grim living conditions, forging a new, tough industrial Welsh identity. In the 20th and 21st centuries, Wales has undergone yet another profound transformation. This time a cultural and political renaissance. The decline of the heavy industries of coal and steel was a painful process, but it also paved the way for a new chapter. A growing sense of national identity and a desire for greater self-governance gained momentum. This culminated in the establishment of the Welsh Assembly, now known as the Senedd or Welsh Parliament, in 1999. For the first time in centuries, Wales had its own democratic institution, making decisions on key areas like health, education and the environment. The Welsh language, once suppressed, is at the heart of this modern revival. It is not a relic of the past, but a living, breathing part of daily life for hundreds of thousands of people. You can see it on road signs, hear it in schools and watch it on the Welsh language television channel S4C. The government has set an ambitious target to have 1 million Welsh speakers by 2050, showing a deep commitment to ensuring its future. This bilingualism is a unique feature of modern Wales, a proud testament to the nation's resilience and its distinct cultural heritage that has refused to fade away. This vibrant culture is expressed through powerful national symbols. The red dragon, the Y Dreg Goch, flying proudly on the national flag, is an ancient emblem of defiance and strength. The daffodil and the leek are worn with pride on St. David's Day, the national day of celebration on March 1st. And of course, there is the sound of Wales, the passionate singing of a male voice choir, or the roar of the crowd at the Principality Stadium singing the national anthem, Hen Wlad fy Nhad, which means Old Land of My Fathers. These are not just traditions, they are the threads that bind the nation together. Today, Wales is a country that confidently blends its rich history with a forward-thinking outlook. It is a land of stunning natural beauty. From the mountains of Snowdonia to the dramatic Pembrokeshire coast, it is a hub for creative industries, a leader in renewable energy and a nation passionate about sport, art and music. The story of Wales is one of survival, of a small nation that has consistently punched above its weight. It is a story of a unique culture and language that have endured against the odds, creating a country that is ancient, modern, and utterly unique.